There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one.
I love Formula Drift. No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I seen it. That's mine.
We're going to tie you up, and this was going to feel like to be kidnapped. He rejects your reality and inserted his own.
This is a stimulator, right?
Pilot. The pole petition.
Matt Shulman is still on top with the 69.
You could fit at least 3 or 4 bodies in there. And if you hack them up, 10.
Gotcha! Grip this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Climpy Point. I am your captain, and of course, you know the Tim.
The Tim.
You know the Paul.
Actually, wait a second.
Oh
Come
my
back to me.
gosh,
Come
of
back
course.
to me. Come back to me.
Tim.
No, wait. No, I've been working on this. We talked about this. Okay, you guys are watching the number one hole in the wall drift podcast in the world.
Number one hole in the wall.
Well, we're not the number one podcast,
Okay,
but
so
we're
we're
like, you know,
number
when you
hole
find a really good hole in the wall restaurant,
That's what it is.
and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yep.
All right,
With
go
a
ahead.
Chinese restaurant that you don't know
Yeah,
about.
like the Chinese restaurant or the
little Thai place.
little Mexican place that you're like, is it any good? But a lot of Mexicans coming out, so it's got to be good. Like that gas station we went to, that was amazing. Anyways,
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment.
all right. And Paul,
I'm here.
Yeah, you're there.
okay.
Okay. Before we get things started, we wanted to give a quick mention that anybody that is interested in advertising for the upcoming live stream that's going to be taking place for the King of OSW Spring Break Bash, feel free to reach out to us. It doesn't necessarily have to be a motorsports company. It could be air conditioning. It could be gator traps.
Yeah. Gator,
any-
Gator Boys, right? Let's get them on.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you're liking within reason, obviously. But yeah, feel free to reach out and let us know. Again, the event is going to take place 2 weeks from now over at Orlando Speed World. For more information, feel free to reach out to us. But in any case, let's get on to more important matters. We have a special guest. Well, special guests.
Special guests.
Several guests this evening. I think they've made a lot of news recently with their competition series that they're going to be putting over together on the other side of the state. You may know them already for some of the events they put together, but many across, I guess you could say, the country, because they've been around outside of Florida, may know them as, and let's bring them in and introduce them. We have, ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, the one and only BeastCoast Drift team.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Good. We're glad we were able to figure out all the technical things that we get to get you on here live with us, and that
Yeah,
you're
thank
coming
you
to us
for
from
having us.
Japan because the sun is up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have been kind of watching you guys, like the posts here and there, and it's been talked about quite a bit. Different events we go to, it's been a topic of discussion. More recently, a topic of discussion we'll probably get to later is that there's been some changes. But before we get into that, the first thing I wanted you guys to do is, and this is for us as well, because I don't think we've ever met you guys. Have we ever met you guys at an event?
No.
Not yet, no.
No, I don't think so. Well, we will hopefully soon. But if you could just go around whatever order you want, introduce yourselves and give us like a brief summary of what your role in BeastCoast Drift is.
Start off with me? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
One of the original people who came on board, sucked into it by my brother in here. Got into drifting a few
First of all,
years
who
ago.
are you? What is your name?
Oh, my
Yeah,
name's
what's your
Adam.
name?
Thank you. See?
Let's start out
I'm
with
camera
what is
shy.
your-
How you gonna put me on the spot?
You got to assume nobody knows anything about who you guys are. So
Yeah,
just
no, my
you
name
know.
is Adam. Some people know me as Adam LSZ, not a pun for Adam LZ, but you can
Right.
just call me the Dollar Store General, Adam LZ, I guess. Everybody likes to joke about that on Facebook. I'm trying. But yeah, no, my name's Adam, right out of Central Florida here in Ocala. Started drifting a few years ago, got sucked into it, started off with a G35, VQ, blew it up a couple times, trying to learn how to drive it. And then I put together a LSZ, and I've been having a blast with it. Tuck's in here. You get to know him shortly. He's pretty much one of the founders who got me into it.
Okay, so what's your role in the whole organization?
I'm one of the core members. I do a lot of the logistical stuff. I help support with the social media. When we have events, I do tech, hanging out with the drivers, pretty much that type of side of stuff.
Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll go next. My name is Spencer, Drift Guy Spencer on Instagram. So I'm right here in Ocala, Florida as well. I have the purple S13 on the team. I also own Spencer's Auto and Diesel Repair. My role pretty much on the team is to keep like all the tow rigs rolling. We're pulling 3 or 4 cars in one trailer. My job is to keep our rigs going, make sure all the cars' alignments are done, our tires are swapped before the events. Pretty much helping all the teammates out just to keep everything rolling because, like I said, I do own an auto diesel shop here in town. So I have all the necessities that we need to be able to fabricate or anything we need in-house.
Oh, good deal. Who's next?
All right, yeah. What's up, guys? My name is Tuxton. Technically, I own BCD, BeastCoast Drift, because I'm on the LLC. Nobody else wants to join me. I guess it's
Nobody wants to take the risk.
Somebody wants to take the risk.
Yeah, right. But it all started. I was a driver. I got into drifting like 9 years ago. Kip and them with Brake Shift got me into drifting. Me and Spencer was drifting with them back then. And then just through the years, just felt love of the sport. I got with Adam. We decided to just start, making it a little bit more official and, do events and stuff. And as far as my actual role, I guess I keep the peace. Yeah, I'm the official trash man at each, track day. Like I bring my I own Q&Q Removal in Ocala. It's a junk removal and dumpster rental company. So I can never. That's why you never see my car at our events because I'm stuck driving the trash truck.
What you can see him on though is his e-bike. If you see him at the firm, riding up and down the track, going through the grid, back to the pits, zooming on that bike.
But my actual drift car, I do have an S14, LS S14 basic. You know how it is.
Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm Adrian. I guess I try to do everything else. Social media, the business, the media marketing side of it, the networking, the sponsorship, stuff like that. So if you message the Instagram or the email, 99% of the time, you're in contact with me. The competition, the rule book, all that kind of stuff is stuff that I kind of gathered from my driving experience overseas on the West Coast, some stuff that I've seen on the East Coast. And it's just kind of like all the good bits and pieces that I've taken along the way and put it together. And it's like, here's the BCD 5K.
Okay. And as we move forward, since we got 4 of you guys in the room, if I ask a question, it's you guys, whoever wants to answer it, feel free to, and we take this wherever we want, right? It's I have some questions, but we're just going to take it where it goes. And that's, organic. Perfect. You guys talked a little bit about each other and how you came together, but how did the whole Beast Coast Drift bring you guys together? Like, what is it that did you guys all 4 sit together, or was it 2 of you that started and the other 2 joined in? How did the formation of Beast Coast Drift start?
I mean, in all honesty, like I said, me and Spencer were drifting back in the day with Brake Shift, and Adam had got into it, and it was just, it's one of those things in this town, like it's kind of a small town, so if you're into drifting, it's hard to like not know who's, you know what I mean? So it just was a thing when I seen he was interested, and I met a mutual friend, Cliff, and then Cliff introduced me to him, and it was just like, hey, you want to keep going to the track? Yeah, let's sure. And then we were trying to do the YouTube thing. And that's kind of what started. Adrian came a little bit after. But then, like, like being in Ocala, I saw his S14 and, like, in traffic. And I was like, who is this guy? And I actually knew where he lived. Really creepy. I knew where he lived before I knew him. Just because of his car. So when I finally figured out who he was, I was like, yeah, man, what's up, man? He was fresh back in town. I'm like, hell yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah, and you're like, I know where you live. Oh, okay. That's cool. And I think that speaks to a lot of us. We're in the Miami area, and it's obviously it's a big town, right? Big city, but the drift community is small, right? So I have that same memory that you mentioned right there of knowing somebody's car and kind of where they live and where they are before you actually met them. And that was with Aerokay. I don't know if you ever heard of Aerokay Night Monkeys. Sean and which one? Even Rafi and even Chelsea was part of the Aerokay Night Monkey crew. Okay. I would always see their cars driving around before I really got to meet them. So I can relate to you there for sure.
Like, who's that? You gotta know.
Huh?
Yeah. No, it's like it breaks your neck in traffic every time you're with your wife.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, calm down.
Because you don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys started forming Beast Coast, and you guys, before you started the 5K shootout, how many events have you guys, or how long have you guys been running events?
So this was it all honestly started, and before it was an event, it all started
with private days. So we started organizing private days because the best way to get seat time is just rent the track and go get laps, man. And for whatever reason, a lot of people don't like trying to organize it. So we started doing it, and we started meeting people from Miami, all over the place, and they loved it. And we just kept hosting more private days back to back to back. And we're like, man, we should start seeing what we can do with this, and maybe start hosting, track days somewhere else. And then maybe we can turn it into a grassroots, which was primarily Adrian's idea. I mean, I think we're all very cold feet about it at first, but this man took the ground running with it. Yeah. And that's where it started. I'll start off with private days at the track. And then we're just like, we need to have competitions again. Everybody wants to do well, not everybody, but a lot of people want to do competitions and see that happen again. And Adrian is very experienced with it, and coming from Japan. I mean, that's all he lived and breathed out there. And a lot of it is new to some of us, but I mean, we're picking it up and learning as we go.
Well, and it's always a learning process. We used to run events down here in Miami for a long time, and every event is gonna show something else that you didn't think about, whether it's a judge's call or a rule you need to implement,
or car crashing,
And then, by the way, Ben, if there's any questions along the way for the people that are watching, just stop me.
Okay.
Are there any questions yet? No?
Not yet.
Okay.
I do, but I know when to jump in.
Oh, you know when to jump in. Okay. In regards to the 5K shootout, what would you say has been the general response from the drift community? You have a lot of people hating on it, or a lot of people like, what's the feedback?
Yeah, because I live on the social, so I want to say it's 50-50. Like, we have a lot of kind of, not to single anybody out, but you have a lot of like the bigger names in the community that do kind of the FD, like pro-am type stuff. They're like, oh, a 235 tire, nobody can drift on that, blah, 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 blah. So we kind of have that influence and that opinion. And then we kind of have the guys that are true grassroots drifters that are like,
let's do it.
Yeah, they're super excited. They just want to get out there, drive, have fun, because they know that a majority of the grid is going to be stock plus cars. So it's kind of split down the middle.
Really?
I don't want to say anybody's really hating on it. I think some people, they don't approve of some minor details or aspects going into it, but
can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're always going to have somebody that, they don't like this, they don't like that. You change it for this person, and then 3 people don't like that part of it, and we're just trying to keep it as simple as possible going into it. Judges' standpoint, supporters, drivers, everything. We're just like, let's try to keep it as neutral as possible.
Okay. Well, one thing I noticed, at least from my experience of watching, we've seen events come and go, right? All of us, we've been around long enough where we've seen things we thought were going to be big, and then turn out to be not so big, and things that we didn't think were going to take off that did take off. I guess my advice to you guys, as long as you guys are open, like you did, like most recently is one of the reasons why we reached out to you guys. You guys are transparent about what's going on, and I think that is going to be huge for the people that are watching you, because whether you believe it or not, or whether you realize it, everybody in the drift community of Florida is watching you guys, right? Some are skeptical, some are hopeful, right? And as long as you're transparent, at least in my opinion, I think that is going to be the way to go, right? If something changes, hey, listen, this is what happened. You're transparent, open about it, instead of holding it all back and trying to create an image. And then when it all hits the fan, everybody's like, oh, I knew they were going to do that. So I think you guys are off to a good start. And I applaud you for your transparency already. And that was one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. This is what happened. You guys write out. This is what's going on. We want to make sure everybody knows. If anything changes, you guys are transparent about it. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
We appreciate it too. Thank you.
We're just, because at the end of the day, we're just drivers. Like, none of us are event organizers. None of us are like, I mean, these guys run businesses. They run their own businesses and stuff like that. So we kind of like use their experience as far as operating this as an LLC just for insurance purposes. But at the end of the day, like, I have a lot of competition and international experience in the sport. Tuck has a lot of like all these guys have grassroots experience at different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I never paid attention to American drifting until probably 2 years ago. So like Break Shift and Final Bout and kind of the social circles and stuff like that of events and organizers here local to Florida, I had no clue what was popular and what's not. So we're taking it slow. We're not trying to be like, hey, we're the next Clutch Kickers with a huge live stream, huge payout. Like, how can we come into this as just average drivers, get a bunch of drivers together, have a good time, and do something that's not being done in the Southeast?
Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of want to tag on something that you were talking about there. Coming from Japan, what would you say are some of the key differences of how events are run over there versus over here? Because you said something, you didn't know how things were going on over here. So what are the differences that you had to learn about how events and organizing and competition goes around down here?
So, I mean, right off the bat, it's just kind of like people just want to drive and have fun over there. I mean, not to say people don't want to do that here, but it's a lot easier to say like host a track day. Like I've hosted track days over there, and I'm just like one quick simple Facebook post and boom, there's 30 drivers. Okay. Right? Like people want to drive, have fun. Over here, there's a lot of navigating like cliques and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you like, we talked to a couple people and they're like, oh, this person's going, I don't want to take any part in it. And you know, you play the social game with it, and there's some like pressure, some social pressure from that aspect. But then we've had people hit us up and be like, hey, who are the other drivers? Like everybody's worried about everybody else.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Before they like register to buy a ticket. So I guess just the overall difference was just over there, people want to drive. They don't care about what engine and turbo this car has and that car, what tires they're showing up with. Big dilemma that we had, I think like a month ago, was people were like, oh, I'm showing up in a stock BMW with a welded diff. There's LS powered Corvettes that are there. There's no way I can game. Mm-hmm. And like I wasn't used to hearing stuff like that. So I don't know how to address that. Because my instinct is like, who cares? Like, just drive, because that's what we did over there.
Right.
But you show them that video of Brian Boschia versus Dirk Stratton at Clutch Kickers.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen it in the past. There's always been those low horsepower guys that give the higher horsepower guys a run for the money. I mean, Clutch Kickers was a great example of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I find it interesting. Like that. And I don't think I ever really realized it until you kind of pointed out. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people are more concerned about who they're going up against and how the competition is going to work out instead of just driving to drive, whether they win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Kind of talking about run what you brung, and that's kind of seemed like the theme, and we're all for the run what you brung thing. But I did notice, and this is not something typical, even though I think Clutch Kickers implemented this rule at first, is I noticed when I was looking through the rule book that you guys aren't requiring the cages. Is there a reason you guys were thinking about it, or just run what you brung? And is that causing any logistical nightmare for you guys?
A little bit of both. I mean, we wanted to run a cage for safety purposes. I mean, you know what I mean? You're slinging a car out there. You're on a fast-paced track. The first comp is the firm with you're top of third gear all day long, maybe fourth. But we wanted to do a cage, but for a lot of the people here in Florida, from what we see, a lot of the grassroots guys, the guys that want to go do it, they're not quite there at that level. Like, for example, I have a cage, but I haven't put a cage in yet because it's money.
Right.
I'm just an average guy, just like everybody else, and we're trying to host a comp for the average guy.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what you're signing up for. So we scrapped that rule. Not all tracks require a cage. It was a hard decision. I think we all had to come to an agreement upon that. We originally wanted to have a cage, but that was a big deciding factor for a lot of people. Probably more than the tire situation, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
That was just the move we had to make to get more drivers on board. We want to see everybody safe. We're going to make sure that we have the right tools and people implemented if anything crazy does happen. But if you drifting, you got to get a cage in your car. We're all on the same page with that, especially if you're competing. It has to be done. But if we can get away with not doing it for now, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you guys. When we were running events down in Miami, we ran events at County Line Dragway and under Drift Sessions and all our comps were, you just come, you show up, and there was a mix of cage and non-cages. We were known as the Wild West of drifting from everybody in Central Florida. We had a lot of haters up there that were like, oh, those guys don't know what they're doing. And then they came down and they got their butts handed to them. But anyways, I'm totally cool with it, right? Now, obviously, if you're doing 100-mile-an-hour entries or some crazy stuff, I think, probably cages, that should be required. But what you're doing, a layout that you guys are running, I don't think you'll have any issues, really.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay. We're going to have, like I said, we're going to have the protective measurements and implement it, what we can there to make it safe for everybody. But to answer your question, we 100% wanted to back the cage, but it was really hard to grab drivers right off the bat.
I kind of argued against it just from my personal experience. Like, I'd go to the BZ Mod Series and you're talking like 120, 130 mile an hour entries in a JZX or S13 or whatever, a stock car. Nobody's got a cage out there. I did my D1 licensing competitions out there. No cage was required for that. So I was like, it's been done. It might not be the norm here, but it exists in the world, in the sport of drifting. And I think D1 is I think they have a better ladder system as far as cars and drivers go for moving up. So I was just like, hey, if we're a feeder series for the dudes doing Pro-Am, like, have them come out with a cageless car, they win first place, and boom, they got money to put a cage in and go do Pro-Am. Like,
yeah. Well, I will say that D1 did come over to the States and they issued tech sheets. So we kind of got a little feel for it when they did come to the US. They're like, here's a tech sheet, take your car and come back. I thought that was fun, right? That was interesting. I think it was a shocker. I think what drives the cage thing, it really comes down to lawsuits, right? Safety, insurance, and things that we do in the States that a lot of the countries don't do, and they have more fun than us, unfortunately.
Correct.
Well, I didn't want to get all political.
Yeah. I mean,
not political. It's not political. It's just a fact.
Right.
It's just a fact.
I literally just made that comment on my personal Instagram to somebody like yesterday. I think Khalid. Khalid literally said that, and what you said is verbatim what I responded. So
Yeah, there's a lot of what some people don't understand too. There's a lot of logistics behind the insurance stuff for the tracks. It's not like we get the track and we can do what we want, guys. There are rules that we have to follow as well. I mean, we want to make it as fun for everybody. So we know we got to be. We can flex the rules where we can, and there's just some stuff we can't. And
Right. Got it.
Talking about the track layout, we already have a question from our neighbor, Louis Lanz, who wrote, is the track layout already done?
Yeah, so it's on the Instagram, and then I got to send an email out to the last batch of drivers that registered with kind of their driver packet. But yeah, well, if you scroll down quite a bit on our Instagram, we've got the layout with the inside clips, outside zones, start, finish line.
we'll repost it. We'll make it more current for everybody.
Okay.
And are you guys open to, I mean, is it defined already, or are you guys going to make adjustments when the competition takes place?
So we we implemented the layout at our last track day, and that was the idea was, hey, let's set it up how we have it drawn out on Google Maps or whatever, and test it out and just, move clips, move zones according to the cars that we expect in the comp. And I think everybody from a stock car to the dudes showing up in build cars ran that layout without any real issues. So it's pretty locked in. I mean, everybody drove it, had a blast.
That stock BMW E36 M3, dude. That dude was shredding that corner every time.
Yeah. So if the low horsepower dude can do it, I'm just kind of like,
it can be done.
It can be done. Everybody can do it.
Yeah. Kind of going back to like tech, are there any, I guess it's going to depend where it goes. I guess you kind of already answered this question, but depending on how the series grows, roll cages may become mandatory. I would assume, or maybe not. You may guys just want to keep it the way it is. If it's successful, don't change it. Are there any things that any of the drivers may be watching right now that you would want to tell them, hey, guys, make sure you have this before you come here, like a battery died down, all 4 bolts in your seat, right? Stuff like that. Is there anything? We've seen it all.
Yeah,
right?
Lug nuts.
Honestly, a lot of it's common sense.
Nope.
Do they have to be functional lug nuts, or can they be glued in place?
Yeah, I guess that's the mechanic in me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, we had a guy show up at our event. He had his battery wasn't tied down. I was like, your battery's not tied down. He's like, no, it's heavy. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's heavy, right? But
It heavily hits you in the back.
The big one that I saw at the last event that a lot of people didn't seem to know was having your positive battery terminal covered.
okay, taping up the bottom.
Yeah,
Positive terminal.
That's a thing.
So, and just to put the plug in there, if you go to the website and you go to forums, our tech sheet has pretty much everything there. It's just a very basic tech sheet with all the basic items covered. And it's all general safety stuff, like the seats being bolted down.
Right.
One of the things we are going to check, I guess, that might catch somebody off guard is actually checking, like, if you're in a stock seatbelt, making sure that safety lock actually engages.
Okay.
So we are checking that. Like, I don't think there's anything that's kind of like out there that somebody wouldn't.
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
All your lug nuts.
Yeah, please off before lug nuts on your wheels.
What
But
should be
it's all on the tech sheet.
right? What should be common sense, but that's a great point. Anybody that's watching, if you're not sure what you need for tech, get on there, get the forums, look at the tech sheet, and that should be self-explanatory, right? As far as driver skill requirements, is there any preliminary driver skill, or can somebody just, hey, this will be my first event, can I sign up? Is it how do you guys handle that?
I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna tandem, so
Yeah.
some level of tandem experience is gonna be needed.
I wouldn't recommend this for beginners.
Don't recommend it for
Right.
beginners, especially with the track layout that we have set. The track layout in itself is going to kind of weed people out. The idea behind the layout was to copy a track in Japan called Bihoku, which is like a full commitment, hard feint, quick rotation, and then a long sweep.
Like, we're not trying to talk junk either. Like, you know, it can't be done by beginners, but in a competition, you know, it's easy to get freaked out on that entry, and you definitely don't want to do that with somebody behind you, and that's not fair to them either.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we
Right,
would say
but-
that's not a beginner.
Some people have unrealistic expectations of their skills, right? So say this said person show up, would there be a point that you'd be like, sorry, dude, this is not for you?
Qualifying.
Yeah,
Qualifying is basically that.
Yeah,
honestly.
qualifying. Yeah.
You know, you do your single run qualifier, and like I said, the course is kind of full commitment, and the judges will kind of handle that.
yeah.
As
Hey, yeah,
it'll be a case by case.
Honestly, yeah, if you're that bad, I hate to say it that way, but if you're that bad, then you won't make it past qualifying.
Well, like I said, this is like, oh, I don't have a kid. You're kind of open up to anything, right?
Yeah, we've had some 15-point qualifiers that made it through.
Yeah. But I mean, you never know. We'll see. This is a whole new thing for a lot of people. Be prepared for anything. That's just my experience. Be prepared
you're
for
right,
anything.
You're right.
Yeah. We're gonna learn.
Byron, so, I don't know what to do.
Talking about judges, who are the judges?
All right, so we have a firm. I'm gonna call him a native because he basically lives there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So Alex Schlegel is going to be joining us to judge. We just got Kit Pinder from Team Break Shift to hop on board, and then I will be the third judge.
Yay.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
That's a flair. That's a flair.
You seem thrilled about that.
It sucks. Yeah.
I don't like being put in that position. Like I don't think anybody that judges like really enjoys
Likes the
it.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard position.
I don't like the confrontational aspect.
I don't think
of
anybody
things.
does.
So
Well, maybe there's somebody out there that likes that, but
yeah, but
Are you guys gonna take protests?
so we do have it in the rule book that they can protest. They have I forget the exact numbers. It's like 5 and 10 minutes, but they've got up to 5 minutes from the end of the run to kind of present us with their argument and whatever evidence that they have. Like, oh, hey, this dude brake checked. Here's the video or whatever, because we are going to have live playback there at the event. So the judges will be able to get a bird's eye view of everything live. So there's not any point in the course, the run, that we're not going to be able to see if somebody brake checks or does something weird and funky. But we're going to allot the drivers the opportunity to be able to present something if they think that we missed it, just for the sake of fairness.
That's
Have you guys thought of implementing a liaison for the judges to sift out some of the? I mean, because hey, listen, be realistic. If you've been in an event and you've watched people protest some things that you're just like, dude, don't even bother to waste the judge's time. Are you guys gonna use a liaison? Have you thought about that?
We actually haven't. That is a good point.
Oh, yeah,
That's a good recommendation.
It is. Trust me.
What you said?
Saturday?
There you go.
There you go.
You're liaison.
We actually had an idea of setting up a stripper pole, and then they had to actually dance on the pole before they can petition. It was going to be called the pole petition. Maybe that's something you guys can implement.
with us, that'll get too inappropriate too fast.
I'm throwing some money in honey. You know?
Rolls the quarters.
But back on topic here. What style of qualifying are you guys going to use? Oh, that just slipped my mind. What do they call it? Knockout qualifying?
No.
What are you going to do? 2 runs, 3 runs, 1 run?
Yeah, so everybody's going to get 2 solo runs. We'll send them out there in like groups of probably I mean, we're at what, 28 drivers right now. So assuming we get up to 32 by the time the event hits, we'll probably do like 4 groups of 8, send them out there, let them get a sight lap, do their 2 qualifiers. There's a 2-hour practice window in the morning. So they're going to roll right into qualifying groups, do their 2 runs, and then we'll just take the best of the 2 runs, rack them and stack them, and do a top 16, top 32 bracket, depending on how many drivers show up. So,
Okay.
Are you guys accepting drivers at the gate?
I mean, I don't see why not.
If they get there early enough.
Early, yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, like, I mean, can you at least message us the night before?
Yeah.
okay, so
This man has us thinking of stuff now that we weren't even thinking about. I'm here for the event. I didn't buy a ticket yet.
we're like floating in that situation with a couple people. For Drift Adventures or some dude out of California is like, hey man, I travel and drift with my RV, and I'm going to be driving from California next week. I don't know if I'm going to make it in time for your event. Can I buy a ticket like the day before? So, I'm like, yeah, just hit us up on Instagram the day before and let us know. Because I mean, we're trying to offer some things where it's like, hey, get a windshield banner. Hey, we're going to get your number and stuff printed that you requested. So, in order to take advantage of getting those benefits and nice things, like just give us like a day heads up. We're gonna have extra banners printed, but
Yeah, please.
logistically we still have to plan because the gates open for everybody, including us, at 7:30. So like,
Okay.
we're gonna be camping out there first thing in the morning. Gates open at 7:30. We're like walking into the gate and immediately turning around to start checking everybody else in. So.
That brings back a lot of memories, my friend. When we used to run the events, I used to have to often pick the lock into the track so we can get the guys into the track, and we would start teching them on their trailers. Remember that? We would start teching them on the trailers before the track officials got there to collect their money for the event. So trust me, you guys just roll with it and be adaptable. You guys will be fine. One thing I wanted to bring up is the 235 requirement of the 300 treadwear rule is something that I think, I would like to see more often. I like that because I think it's one of the things that you can utilize to level a playing field, right? Those high horsepower cars, they can have 3,000 horsepower, but they got to be able to put it down to the ground. 235, probably not so much. So those lower horsepower guys, it's going to help be that equalizer, whereas clutch kickers had Emerald Coast, where the track was equalizer. I think the 235 width is going to be the equalizer. But how do you plan on regulating that during the event? Are you going to have like a tire Nazi, walking around?
Yep.
Yeah, so
you're checking them when they grid up, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna have the guy out there on the start line. We're gonna have him starting at qualifying, because honestly, practice is your time to do whatever you want to do. But during qualifying, we're gonna have the dude on the grid. He's gonna be checking tires. We're getting these laser cut like sheet metal gauges that are cut. I know the limit's 235, but we're gonna compensate for tire wear deflation. We're probably gonna go to like 238, 240 millimeter. Like slot cutout, and kind of like what I've seen when I did pro-am on the West Coast is they'll just randomly like go around and slide the little gauge behind your tire, and if it slides all the way in, you're good. If it doesn't go all the way through, you're DQ'd.
Okay, so that's probably some really good information for those guys that are like, I'll run on 235, and when I get into the top 16, run on 255. They'll never know. So you guys are going to be paying attention.
We'll be checking.
Especially because we do not want any issues with the winners or anything like that. So keeping it fair.
Right. So round one's gonna be at the Firm, and then round two is going to be at Citrus County Speedway. Have you guys run an event at the Citrus County Speedway, and how is that a venue?
So we haven't ran an event at Citrus County, but we've been there. We've been in talks with the manager of the facility, and we got the tour and kind of a game plan of how we're going to attack it.
It's nice.
Yeah, the facility is amazing for spectators.
Okay.
The track is beautiful.
The track is great. They renovated it, did a great job on that. The infield is not like most infields. It's wide enough and kind of flows enough that you could almost treat it like a kidney bean from OSW skid pad with some incline on the ends.
Yeah. How's that transition from the bank into the infield? Is it steep or smooth?
It's a very like smooth, gradual, and,
Okay.
and the bank isn't horrible either. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. The K rails, I mean the wall is like it's not super intimidating. I personally think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Okay.
favorite part, real quick, my favorite part is the brand new wood deck, like tiki bar vibe that they got going on, like trackside on the bank.
Okay.
So
I'll have to check that out.
Literally have you drinking Hennessy while you're watching a smoke show come right at you.
You might have to set up that section as like,
After party.
Well, no, I was thinking more like
VIP section?
No,
or-
like 5 o'clock somewhere, like Jimmy Buffett over there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because the track is old, so it's been grandfathered in. Like the stands are so close to the track, it's not like this huge distance. So it really,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for the spectators, it really like brings you that much. Like you might want
You're
to sit back
close.
a little bit. Yeah.
Nice,
So,
nice.
it's
that's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Do you guys have any? You haven't announced for 3 and 4 what that's going to be. Do you guys have any ideas? Anything you're willing to share about possibilities for 3 and 4?
So we're trying to work. We're trying to work with some of our partners. So like Next Gen Car Show, we partnered up with them to kind of do a dual role with round 1, just trying to get all of the car community together. Unfortunately, they won't be able to make it to round 2 because they do shows all up and down the East Coast. Round 3 is kind of still in the air because we're thinking of June, but we're also trying to think of when's best to not overlap with like a major OSW event or the Pro-Am schedule. But they want to commit to June and do something big, because what we're doing with Citrus County is we're doing a 2-day event where it's 3 to 11 p.m.
Okay.
with overnight camping. Like I said, they have the bar available during those hours. They have a full kitchen available. So we're trying to do something a little bit bigger with Citrus County as far as as an event goes. So planning that round 3 is going to take a lot of coordinating, and we just want to make sure that all those ducks are in a row before we advertise to everybody.
Okay. Now the 5K shootout is not a point series, correct?
No.
Do you think that you guys will ever? Is there any talks of like, hey, if this season works out good, maybe next year we'll do a point series, or do you guys plan on keeping it just a shootout style event every time?
We haven't. That really hasn't been a topic that's come up with us. Yeah,
We're pretty much trying to dial it in right now because we want the drivers to come out and have a dope ass experience and drive and have fun competing again, and just trying to get the whole vibe stationary and then work out all the fine tunes as we go, essentially. Because we want to make it as community oriented as possible, because that's what's really going to bring all this together is the drift community coming in.
Okay. And then how many drivers that entered in the first round are drivers that have already done events with you guys already? Or what percentage would you say?
It's quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
I want to say it's a little over 50%, like half of them. Over half.
Okay.
Half, I would say, at some point or another.
Okay, so you have the judges. You guys have some things you need to think about as far as using a liaison. Do you guys have a layout plan for the round 2 yet, or are you gonna come across that after you finish round 1?
We're gonna take some feedback from round 1 and go into it. We incorporated some inside clips, which not many people do. So we're gonna see how everybody kind of competes with it, drives with it, and then come up with a layout for round 2. We've been talking to Pat Gooden. He's got some experience on that track. As far as like who we're in contact with, I don't think we know anybody else that's really driven there. So he kind of, we did our sausage finger like Facebook Messenger drawing on a Google Map snapshot Citrus County of what we think would work. But it's going to take going out there and driving it. So we're trying to set all that stuff up and get, 2 or 3 different cars out there, high horsepower, low horsepower, whatever it is, on a 235 tire, and be like, hey, let's figure this layout out for everybody.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna have a tire changer at the events?
Yes. So I've already modified one of my backup tire changers to fit into the trailer. So that way we can roll it around whatever we need to do. So we'll be able to change tires there at the track for anybody.
Yeah. We used to just bring a manual tire changer and just say, everybody have at it.
Get my answer out.
Yeah, last year I ended up upgrading the tire machine inside the shop. So when I upgraded, I was like, man, I'm not getting rid of this one. It works fine. So just pretty much modified it with wheels and roll around inside the trailer.
Mad scientist.
It's pretty sweet having a tire changer.
Do you have a fee in mind?
What was that?
A fee, like, are you going to plan to charge?
I think we were talking, what, $20 a tire or $15 a tire or something like that before?
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. I mean, I'm not trying to get rich out of it. I'm really doing it, just to help out more than anything else.
What about throwing
Give me
them
a
away?
back massage, we can talk.
What about throwing them away? About disposal?
Right after the tire.
You got to talk louder, Paul.
No, what about disposal of the tires? You guys gonna take them
Oh,
as well? Or?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
We got all that.
Okay. Okay, cool.
My company does
That's
not
nice.
dispose of tires.
Yeah.
Just to put that
So
out
we
there.
could look to see a lot of tires on the side of 75 when we pass through Ocala, is what you're saying.
No. Fuel removal would never.
I'll drag them back to the shop and get rid of them properly.
that's only for
we were
people
just
that
up in
pay for the
Gainesville
tire
for the
change, by the
Ford
way.
Fest event. So I didn't realize you guys were all actually in Ocala, because me and Ben were up at Ford Fest at Gainesville Raceway. I would have hit you up and we could have got together or something like
I
that.
went there. I was there for about an hour.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was there for about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
cool.
Tight work. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Little skid pad.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty cool, and I hadn't, because I remember back when Gainesville was really doing. They had drift events out there, and I haven't been to one.
I wish
That
they'd
was
bring it
years ago.
back.
I wish they would bring that back.
You mean Grand Drift?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, yes, the Grand Drift. What was it? 2017,
It was
Yeah.
early,
something like that.
I was there.
Oh, okay, heck yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was there with Savio was there from Drift HQ. That was when his car was like all multicolored.
Oh, wow.
It was a while
I had
ago.
a Teal S13 with an SR.
Yeah,
Remember
I had
those days?
I had that baby blue E30 that now Chris Jackson has.
World
Holy
famous.
crap! Listen,
Yeah,
wow.
long time ago.
Yeah, long time
Long time
back in the
ago.
day.
Yeah, buddy.
Back in the day, that was
Ben?
7 years ago, my guy.
In the drift community.
7 years, a long time,
You
man.
know how young these kids are now?
Yeah, no, I was already like drifting for almost 8 years by that point.
Yeah, already.
yeah, we know what back in the day is.
I was excited I could link the track at that event, so that's where I was at. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah. And it was like massively wide. Like you could drift a bus through that course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little Ben, you have anything else?
Yeah. So there's been obviously a notable change in the media pass process. So what is if we're interested in media outlets that want to partake in this event, what is the process now to obtain a media pass?
So we had issues with media at our first event. We kind of just did like a gentleman's agreement where it was like, hey, media's free, come out. We just want some, like, send us a couple, clips, some pictures or whatever that we can use for flyers and advertisement and stuff and post up on the page. And we had like 30 something people show up and sign in for media. And like 2 people sent us a Google Drive, the stuff to use. And we were like, man, that sucks. So we had partnered up with Drift Florida to kind of manage the media marketing side of our events, and they charged with a hard card. We had to part ways going into round 1. So for round 1, we're gonna have a paper contract at the gate. Media can come in; it's free entry. Sign the contract. We're just expecting 10 to 12 pictures after the event within like a week or 2, or like a 15-second reel or something.
Tag us in your reels,
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to get rich or anything here. We were just trying to make it more organized. But now we're at the point, just come, just bring, just please honor your side of the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some fuzzy math going on there that struck Ben quite odd.
I figured it out.
Oh, you did figure it out?
Yeah, I figured it out.
Did it make sense?
Afterwards, after being shown the light by the Holy One, he let me know what I was missing, and
okay.
it works out. Even
Okay,
though
never
it's,
mind.
like wording was like awkward, but it pans out.
Well, we didn't need to worry about that anymore, though.
No,
Okay.
not anymore, not anymore. But I think it's quite obvious you guys are still looking for sponsors. So, is there a particular kind of manufacturer you're trying to sort of maybe? I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, right? You're just trying to look out for trying to get anybody that you can.
No, not really. So, part of doing this in the grassroots community, and trying to stay true to the roots and make this for the drivers, we're looking for sponsors that believe in that as well. So Cosmo, like, we're not over here like, hey, give us X amount of dollars and we'll put your logo on this. We're like, hey, what can you do for the drivers? So registered drivers are getting 50% off all Cosmo tire sales for the event, for each round that they sign up for. So we're looking for sponsors that want to give back to the drivers and work with them more than anything. So yeah, that's what we're looking for as far as sponsorships. We're not looking for big corporate level stuff to take this to like another level and whatever. If they can offer the driver something to help them with their driving, their careers, whatever it is, we're open to that.
So you're trying to bring that JDM comp feel over to the States?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see there are
that's
some
my style
other
of driving. That's the atmosphere that I'm used to. And I mean, to be 100% honest, driving on the West Coast, going to a couple events here in Florida, it was just, I wasn't satisfied with what was offered. It didn't make me feel fulfilled to be like, hey, I want to go drive at this event. And I get the same vibe, the same feeling that I had overseas. So with these guys, we all kind of share the same image and want for that type of community. And instead of being on Maximum Driftcast, like complaining about FD doing X, Y, and Z, it's like, hey, this is us taking action to do something else.
Right. All right. Well, as far as like kind of wrapping this up, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want to make sure everybody knows? As far as what the updates look for, where to be plugged in at?
I would just say, I mean, definitely follow us on BeastCoast on Instagram because that's where all the updates happen first. Facebook, not really so much, but Instagram definitely first. And I just wanted to say, too, before we go, being that we're just a group of drivers and that, as you can see, we haven't been doing this years and years. If there's any concerns or things that you think, opinions, we would gladly accept your opinions. Instagram, inbox us. I'd much rather someone tell us instead of just finding us out, on some forum. That sucks in that aspect. We're open ears because we're not perfect either. So we want to make this good for you.
And as well, if anyone wants to come help, volunteer to help us out and run these events, we're all open to that as well. That's another thing that we've been hard for us is finding the manpower to run these events. You know what I mean? To make sure that the drivers is organized, the drivers are having a good time, and everything's not just so chaotic and all over the place. So if anyone wants to help, by all means, I'll buy you lunch that day, whatever. If y'all want to help out, whatever we can do, just to get some extra manpower to help us, organize the events a little bit better.
We will feed you food.
Okay. Well, actually, I got to
leave with that.
Yeah, we will feed you. Yeah, that's great. I actually got a tip, and this is something that we used to implement back in the day at County Line. Is you got discounts if you brought cones. Now, where you get the cones from, that's whatever. But a lot of times, people, they would pay for their.
Before. We have gone through this before.
And what we took away is you cannot rely on the streets to come through.
I try to tap into some sources.
Hey, you send out the minions out there to get, because the owners that owned our track, they didn't give us anything. Like we had to fund everything, right? All right. So last but least, where should they send their questions and comments and concerns?
Everything through the Instagram.
Okay.
BeastCoast Drift.
And then definitely like, think some things through, but well, the way we kind of look at it is, we have our Facebook team group chat. Somebody asks a question. I'm the one that's on the social media. I literally take that question, put it in the group chat. We all kind of like weigh the option of, hey, how does this benefit everybody versus one person? Is it a good change? Whatever. So we all kind of chime in on it, share an opinion, and weigh everybody's questions and concerns.
Okay.
And it's kind of a little bit off topic, but are you guys looking to attend other events? Maybe not, maybe on a personal level to kind of get some seat time on your end, or are you maybe trying to sort of see what they're doing to try to improve your events?
Yes.
And if so, what kind of events are you guys looking into?
So we actually, a couple weeks ago, me, Adam, and Spence, we went to Driven Luck Circuit, which by the way, Driven Luck Circuit, it was amazing. The people the brothers that run it, everything was amazing. So yes, it was great to be able to go out of state, go to a different track, see the different vibes, actually run a real track versus a skid pad or oval.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, yes, we are definitely doing that.
I mean, I was able to go drive Fuel Fest last week and give a bunch of ride-alongs down there, which was awesome, by the way. I really felt like a fish in the Shark Bowl with all the pro drivers that were surrounding me. But hey, I got broken in really fast. It was a great time. But yeah, we're all looking to drive different events. Hoping to try to get some out-of-state events maybe coming up soon. I'm not really sure yet because my work schedule is all over the place. But I'm looking for private days. So if anyone knows any private days going on, reach out. I'm trying to jump in somewhere.
You can definitely catch us coming up on spring break.
Guys, spring break.
Well, we'll be there.
That's a hard event to get into at OSW, but we're paying attention to their social media so we can jump on and buy tickets. But our plan is to go to the OSW Spring Break Bash event. We'll definitely be doing that as long as we all get tickets.
Yep.
And then we've been talking about, maybe doing in the future. I mean, please don't quote me yet, but we're looking at maybe doing a private day at Drift Mansion, Mid Pond, something like that, maybe out of state, and we'll do something. Maybe not a comp, but a private day that we can all just go have fun.
All right.
And then we're looking at all the other events. It's like Adrian said, we're trying to host our events while drive events. It's a lot while working full-time jobs.
Yeah. Yep, that's hard. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys at Spring Break Bash.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Yeah, we'll reach out there. Now, we'll probably be busy, but hopefully you guys are still there when the event ends because that's when we really get to talk to everybody. Before then, you're going to see us setting up cameras, setting up run lines, helping Tommy. But if we, just at least come up and say hello, if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Find me some tips.
Yep. All right. So without anything else, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out. And then those of you guys that are watching, make sure that you guys spread, like, share, subscribe. And we look forward to seeing what Beast Coast evolves into. And until next time, bro, you guys take care, man.
Thank you.
For having us.
All right. Good night. Good deal, Ben.
Sweet.
Are you just going
I was fucking cut.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Still going.
Is it still going? Still going? We can still see you. We can still see you.
Hang on. Let's try to go and boink. Okay,
There we go.
There we go.
All right. So who's the camera on now?
It's on you.
Oh, it's on me. All right. Well, that was Beast Coast Drift. It's one of those things that I think I've learned from the past. When you hear somebody come out and start doing a new event, which camera am I looking at? This one or that one?
This one.
This one. Oh, okay. That when Clutch Kickers came out, we were skeptical. Well, I don't know. You got two cameras. When Clutch Kickers came out, we were kind of skeptical, and they did some big things. Unfortunately, after a few years, it kind of faded out. I don't know. What do you think about the whole JDM vibe? Like what Adrian was saying.
I like it. I think it's cool that the first thing that 235 is, I think, pretty small, so it's really going to equalize.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I like that the fact they're even talking about putting, kind of like a scale or a stencil.
Yeah.
So that way they can check cars. So keeping that. I like that it's no cage. I mean, it brings a lot more people into playing. I mean, Randy could drive if he came back down.
Right. I forgot to mention, talking about the scale thing, that they should randomize the person that goes around to measure it, so that way, because if it's one person that's doing it, they're just gonna look for the person, and they're like, he's right there, he's coming up, watch out,
Change the tires.
But so they also have something interesting too, because they're going to be offering the tire changing. So I could only assume, hey, I want you to put these tires on. And we go, hey, wait a minute. These are 255s.
true.
Like, he'd be like, no, I'm not putting this on.
Right.
So they would have to have those pre-mounted.
Right.
I assume everybody would come pre-mounted to this type of event, but you never know.
Depends on how hard it is on tires.
I mean, you're on a 235 too.
Exactly. Depending
If you
on
got power, you're going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's going to be turning a lot of boost down.
What about the motors? They're
Half throttle.
Half throttle.
Whoop. Change your full pedal position is only 50%.
Yeah, 50%.
Yeah.
Hey, they actually thought about the pole petition though.
Hey, they gave it some thought. Yeah.
Might come, a dream might come reality, and they'll be able to utilize a pole petition. Think about the ratings. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Really, the pole petition may come to fruition.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, I have a live demonstration I wanted to do real quick.
the pole petition.
A live demonstration. No, not the pole petition.
Okay.
So last time
that'd be awkward.
Yeah, that would be awkward. So last time we had Jackson here, my world famous Chris Jackson.
You got a decent amount of views.
Yeah, it did actually. It did. So what you guys didn't see before and after the show is Paul and Chris Jackson going over my car and telling me how I need to seal the firewall and how it's not sealed and how Bryce didn't do quite a good enough job and that, it's dangerous. And they both offered the suggestions of metal tape. They said, oh yeah, put metal tape on there. So I was like, maybe. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe they have something, because I always reject what they say initially, but then I
don't think he was talking about that kind of tape.
He said this kind of tape. I have both kinds, my friend.
Oh, okay.
And I told Jackson, I was like, well, the tape's flammable. He's like, no, it's not. It's not flammable. So what I did, I was like, well,
yeah, but Jackson is also the person that said,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you were right along with him. So we can all agree that this is not that hot of a flame, right? So if I put a little torch to it, it's flammable. It like lights on fire. Ow!
Can you be careful, you idiot?
Point being, they want me to put that in my car. They wanted me, put this on your car to seal it up.
Maybe his whole purpose is to catch you on fire.
Yeah, well, no, I just wanted to point something out, because Jackson was like, no, man, that's not sealed enough. I was like, Bryce, I trust Bryce's work. And Jackson's like, no, I really think you need to seal it. Put some metal tape on it.
Can you be more careful this time?
Yeah, I can be a little more careful. Well, kind of stuck.
You're lighting the adhesive side. I like the other side.
This is the adhesive side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the adhesive side.
The chemicals.
Right.
The chemicals are going to kill us.
are definitely
I
more.
don't know about
My point being,
it's not catching fire. Hey, wait, no, it's not.
You start complaining about the chemicals.
No, but it's not catching fire.
It catches fire. This is only a lighter. We're not talking.
You'd be out by now.
No,
that would have saved you.
Okay.
Point being,
I don't see it's catching fire. I think you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
I think you're wrong.
I'm right. Catch fire. Yeah, and the toxic smell. Right, toxic smell.
Great. Well, thanks, Tim. Or shall we thank Paul
and Chris Jackson? Yeah, world famous Chris Jackson for the misinformation, you guys.
This is a horrible experiment.
I think it was a great experiment. Great experiment. So, point being is the metal tape's flammable. Don't put it on your car.
I think it's noxious. Forget the flammability.
Right. So you pass out. The flame catches the tape on fire. You pass out.
Why is it getting worse?
Because it's probably still on fire.
Oh God.
It is.
I told you.
It is still on fire.
Yeah, put that on your car, man. Those holes. You guys don't know.
Open the door.
Yeah, open the door.
Yeah, please. Sheesh. What's the matter, Tim?
Well, I'm just.
I'm not thrilled about this product demonstration.
Well, Anyhow.
Okay, so Look, this was brought up during the conversation. Thank you, Paul, by the way, for opening the door and trying
Bring
to let
some
all
ventilation.
these fumes out
And-
because I feel like we're gonna pass.
You shouldn't be
out,
thanking
but-
him. He inspired this demonstration.
Okay, Paul, I hate you.
I
There you
didn't
go.
say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Jackson's not here, so I can't blame him.
It's all Jackson's fault.
Yeah,
NMRA Spring Break Shootout
was amazing.
was great. Tim, do you want to go over some of the things that took place before and after the rain?
Before and after
So
that.
Yes.
Rained upon the venue.
Do I want to go over some things? Well, I will say the best thing about going to these events is catching up with Nick Swan and Zach and Pat. We only ever really get to hang out with them and just
Well, at the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah,
right.
because we see Pat more often than
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
do, but we don't really ever like we get to have the dinners after, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy that. I think what is good about what's good about Ford Fest is that they're really trying to embrace the drifting.
Why do people call it Ford Fest? Isn't it not Ford Fest?
It said Ford Fest.
Is
It's
it Ford Fest?
I don't think
Oh.
it. I had to agree with Paul. I don't think
Yeah.
it was a.
It's
I could have sworn it said
NMRA, right?
NMRA. I could have sworn it said
it's-
Ford Fest.
If I recall correctly, it's the NMRA Spring Break Shootout Drift Invitational.
Okay. Well, that.
Stop calling it Ford Fest.
Shut up.
You're fired.
Shut up. I don't listen to you.
Keep going.
Nah, I'm just done.
Okay.
I'll let you
Alright.
finish.
His feelings are hurt.
Right.
My feelings are hurt.
Okay. He's quit. All right,
Well-
that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
I can't.
Well, I will say we did have some notable absences.
Really?
Like for instance,
Yes.
Cash Staub didn't make it. I mean,
Kenneth Sweeney.
Kenneth
Senior
Sweeney, that's
Citizens
right.
Drift, yep.
That's right. But we took the time to mention them, even though the crowd may not know who may or may not be these individuals. But we made sure to shout them out. For all we know, they may or may not know them, and it's great to kind of bring them along in spirit, I guess you could say. But that's good. The other thing, I think, obviously, the best part is Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
That is
the
the best
truck.
part.
Well, they brought the largest Bigfoot, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And just
And he drove really fast this time, too.
yeah.
Like, he was, like, booking it through.
Oh,
like,
really?
like, oh, he's going to run over somebody. Totally.
Oh.
Yeah. No, what cracked me
people.
up is that like you hear the motor screaming,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you hear clunk, clunk, as if like he found another gear, and then it's like accelerating
Oh,
further. I
really?
was like, oh, hello.
jeez.
Like as if like he had more breathing room to actually accelerate and find
Oh,
another gear.
jeez.
But what was a bit shocking to me, and it kind of freaked me out for a moment, is where it was originally located, Bigfoot, where it was parked, and they're like, okay, we got to get it out to the track.
Which wasn't
And-
close.
Yeah, it wasn't close. They had to basically drive through the spectator area, make
Oh,
sure that
God.
like everybody move out of the way because Bigfoot is coming. I mean, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
I
But
mean-
you could be like, oh. And then
Yeah, and he
rolls
is
over you.
done, squished.
Exactly. What did surprise me that I didn't know, I mean, pardon my ignorance, was the four-wheel steering capability of that thing. Did you know that, Tim?
Unlike
monster
that the
trucks
event
have-
wasn't called Ford Fest, I did know that.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. We did get to hear, we didn't get to see the fuel jet cars.
Well, we got to hear it more than anything.
Yeah,
but there's
that's
only
okay.
one because one broke down.
That's right. And then it was kind of just the ground shook a bit. Like you could hear the backfire and
So you could
Well,
hear and feel.
yeah,
Yes.
So you had two senses.
yeah.
Well, they did it at in Kentucky. They had the jet cars there too.
For Ford Fest.
Steve's there. He's part of that as well, right?
Right.
Okay.
But that one was known
Whatever.
as Ford Fest.
Whatever.
I'm just trying to.
It was
Gotta
all
keep it-
Fords. It
gotta
was a
keep 'em-
festival. In my opinion, it was a festival
We
of
need a
Fords.
teleprompter, okay?
It should have been.
It's time for the teleprompter.
Should
Time
have
for
been
the
Mustang
teleprompter.
Fest. Should have been Mustang Fest.
Get
'cause
them,
that's-
get them medicated and put them on the teleprompter.
Oh
and-
boy,
No, it can't be Mustang Fest because remember you have Daniel Hoy there with his Toyota Supra.
that's true.
With
He
the
was
Ford
there.
Barra engine. Make sure
Oh,
that-
yeah, I was wondering why he was there. I'm like, why is he there? He's
Are you
like,
serious?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
He did not know that was powered by Ford.
No, I didn't
He
think
didn't know
about
a
it.
bar was made by Ford.
I didn't think about it.
You didn't think.
I didn't use my brain.
I did
I don't have
think
my brain.
about it.
No, I couldn't. I'm like, I thought it was LS powered. So that's what I was like, what is going on here? It's a Supra. It's LS powered, but it's at a Ford.
LS?
You gotta
Thought it
get
was
your
all-
hearing
Have you ever
checked.
heard the car?
No, I never even heard the car.
Really?
I've never seen it. Well, I'm not
You've
going
never
to
seen
say anything.
All I
just
know
gonna
is
keep my
I'm the
mouth
one that's
shut.
supposed to. Yeah, keep your mouth shut.
Keep my mouth
Hey,
shut.
right.
you want Tim? You want to hand him the shovel so that way he can dig
Yeah,
himself
dig himself
even
out.
further?
Oh, I don't know. My boots are like digging. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
Told you. Teleprompter.
Oh, shut up! Yeah. Yeah, the greatest thing about
Yeah. But Friday was it Friday? Right. The
Friday
first
and
day-
Saturday, yeah.
No, Friday. The freaking
the
rain.
rain. Rained
That
a
was
lot,
wild.
and it was cold,
Yeah, that was. Oh god, that was a ridiculous part.
and it was going like the rain was. There was so much wind; it was coming sideways.
Yeah.
It reminded us of the Clutch Cure days.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I remember that. Well, that one particular round in the Freedom Factory season where we were just waiting around, waiting and waiting.
We were
The
holding
rain.
the tent down. Remember that one?
Oh my God! How could I forget about that? You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was.
For a moment there, the tent that we were under, I was worried that tent was gonna try to like take off on us. Mm-hmm. But luckily, it didn't.
Yeah. No, it was fine. And then, but Saturday was beautiful.
Right.
It was perfect weather. It was a good day, and you got some of the best footage I've seen
Oh.
of two cars tandeming and transitioning so close together. Did you see that?
Yeah.
In the slow motion and
Von Gittin reposted it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a good catch, my friend.
Well, what's funny?
Very
is
excellent
that-
song choice as well.
Thank
There
you.
was like 3 song choices.
No, there was
Yeah,
one.
he had different songs for YouTube versus Instagram.
Oh, you did?
I mixed it up.
I only watched the Instagram one.
Okay. And Vaughn came
Put
up
his
with
own,
a different choice too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I mean, whatever. But that was what's funny is that I kind of got lucky with that one, with that kind of shot, because I was testing something out and I
Yeah.
wasn't really paying attention, and I was just following along. And then it wasn't until after the run was finished that I saw Nick and I think it was Nick and Pat or Zach, I forgot who, but regardless, they went out to the track and they started to pick up pieces that were just falling on the floor. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck happened? And then I just see that a run after that, Chelsea was missing a headlight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I think I caught that on film. Or, sorry, on SD card.
Yeah.
And
Caught it on film.
Yeah.
No, I caught it on digital
specifically-
media.
and then afterwards, when I saw it, I was like, hey, okay, I got it. That was sweet.
Yeah.
And it worked out. But it's funny how we kept re-emphasizing that it was a drift demonstration. Nothing was at stake. There's no need to really go all out. But out of the gate, Chelsea Denolfo was just like a man on a mission. I was like,
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
very aggressive.
trying to make a statement or something. What's going on?
I think he was just having a good time.
Oh, of course he was.
It was a good event. Relaxing. Everybody had a good time. Everybody got a ton of seat time.
Yes.
Insane. I couldn't believe that nobody dropped out. The only person that ran out of tires was Schumann.
Yes, Chris Schumann.
Yeah.
Chris Schumann. And we knew this because all of a sudden, the vantage point where we were at, not only were we overlooking the middle of the track, but we could also see the driveway that leads you to the to the pit area and back. And we saw him loaded up on the car on the trailer
And drive away.
exiting the venue.
Yeah.
So that was that. But yeah, that was a big concern as to whether or not we were going to be able to extend the event all the way to the end, because the Saturday run time was supposed to end, I think, at 6 or 7. Do you remember?
7.
Around 7, yeah.
But they thought it was going to end at 6, but the drivers kept going.
Yeah. I think it was a good job by Nick communicating to the drivers, like letting them know, like, hey, look, listen, I mean, we don't have that many drivers, but we have a lot of this much time.
Yeah.
So let's try to see what we can work out so that way everybody is able to actually not only get all the runs that they want, but we can at least extend the show all the way through the extent all the way through the time. So
Plus, hats off to Von Gittin Jr. and Chelsea for giving 60 ride-alongs.
yes,
60 rentals.
Think about that.
right.
They gave 60 ride-alongs.
That's crazy.
So they had a thing where, and I mean, we didn't know until the day of. They had a thing where, over at the RTR trailer, you as a spectator go up to them and you sign up for a chance to ride along with either Chelsea Enough or Von Gittin Jr. They were gonna do 20. They were gonna accept and pick out 20 people to ride along for each session.
Yeah.
Because they were scheduled to do 3 sessions throughout the day. I think one of them involved the Bigfoot, but I don't think they
No, they didn't have. I don't think they had the people that signed. I think I don't know. That's a good question. Did they have passengers in there?
Beats me. I don't remember.
I would.
I was just too busy looking at Bigfoot. But in any case, so 3 sessions, 20 spectators to choose from for every session, and we were thinking like, there's no way they were gonna like run through 60 people, but
They did. I mean, they were hopping in line. They had a crew that was dedicated just checking the cars, putting people in a passenger seat, and as fast as they'd go around, they would take maybe a few minutes, swap people out, and go around again and go around again.
Oh, wow.
It was good.
no, it's pretty wild.
Nobody had any accidents. There were no breakdowns. I don't think, right?
No, I don't. Oh, and the other piece of information that caught us off guard was the amount of drivers that told us that they had their car stored for months. They hadn't even touched it or done anything to it. They basically
really?
just kept it on the trailer, and they're like, okay, we got an event to go to, and then
They
brought it out, and
yeah.
then went out to the track.
Just rolled it back out, huh?
Yep.
I
And
love
actually,
Mustangs.
and
Not all of them.
no,
Always ready to.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Supra.
Yeah, exactly. Or you go ahead, Tim.
No, it was nice to actually meet one of the Team Big Uglies guys, Big Uglies Garage.
Oh yeah.
They came up to us after and some very kind words.
Oh, yeah?
Invited us to come up to one of the events that they have up in Michigan, Ohio area.
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, right. He said it's a great crowd. Apparently, they get a lot of drivers. 100-something drivers, they said, that weekend? Yeah, it's pretty insane. He said it's a great vibe. And I don't know, maybe one day he'd like to make a trip up there. Anywhere outside of Florida.
The other person that surprised us was Chris Capps.
Yes.
Chris Capps.
Basically, he worked for a dealership,
Okay.
which was unfortunate. He wasn't allowed to advertise his dealership because his dealership is closer to Stark, where we were staying. But apparently, there's another Ford dealership that's in the area, and they have they can't advertise their dealership within a certain area. Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what
They're
he
that
said.
Territorial?
Yeah. So he said, he goes, only thing they could do is to bring a car and put their sticker on it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't purchase a booth or advertise their dealership
wow.
there at the track. Yeah. But he basically had a stock Ford Mustang with an angle kit. I think that's all he had.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it seemed like. But it was. It's interesting at first because when we saw him on Friday, so we do a thing where we try to get as much information from the drivers at the event, and oftentimes we don't get the opportunity to do that. And we're having to basically just come up with names and information on the fly.
Oh, really?
When the
That was on
drivers come
Friday,
out.
yeah.
That was on Friday. And so we see this white Mustang pop out, and the only thing we know is this Murray Ford racing team on the side of the vehicle. So
Okay.
we're like, okay, we know it's Murray. And then Tim was like, well, it's a guy, so Guy Murray.
Yeah. So for
Guy
Friday,
Murray.
his name was Guy Murray. So I do that, and then people hear it, and they're like, okay, I probably should fill out the questionnaire or get the questionnaire.
Yeah.
And then who was the other Burgundy Mustang guy?
Burgundy Mustang, yeah.
That's, I believe, Corey Graddick.
Right.
If I recall correctly.
So Burgundy Mustang guy. That's what I'm announcing, because we tell everybody, hey, there's this questionnaire. You need to fill it out.
Yeah.
Alex filled it out after the event. Alex Dubois.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you didn't see the message in the Instagram?
No.
He's like, oh man, I'm sorry I forgot to fill this out. I'll fill it out now. I'm like, you don't need to worry about it. It's okay. We had just happened to meet him and you knew his name.
Right. Well, because funny enough, I remember him from last year when we had the event at OSW. It just so happens, I don't know how his name stuck.
Yeah, because that's pretty. That's why you remembered. I thought you maybe talked to him.
No. I remember it from just the name, and I think I got an assist, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I recognize this car. I've seen it, and I think it still had the same dents on the passenger side door from last year. So there was really nothing that much difference. I was like, well, it has to be the Dubois guy.
Well,
and it just so happened that it was. And we just, that was the only piece of information that we were able to get out of it. But again, to your point, it's very, I want to say crucial, but it's so important to have that information, because not only does it make our jobs better, but it helps to inform the audience on just who's out there. Because we could easily just come up with just random stuff, and it's not going to do anybody. Well, they might get a couple of laughs, but it's not going to do everybody a favor on that.
It's important to have all the driver information, especially if you have any sponsors, to make sure you're getting your sponsors out there. If you're being a good, ambassador for your sponsors. So, no, definitely have to fill those out. Maybe we should pass like a flyer out and like make a little flyer that. Did you sign up?
Well, I took advantage of the drivers meeting to remind people.
Yeah.
For instance, on the Saturday drivers meeting, I was like, "Hey, thank you everybody to those of you who filled it out. But if those of you haven't, please fill it out."
Yeah. And Nick does a good job mentioning that too.
Yeah.
They're just every time drift session guys are here, they send out a questionnaire. Please fill it out. That helps them help you, and that's all we're trying to do. Give us information to be able to help the drivers
announce about themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But you're right. No major problems, no major issues that I can recall. And the only incident or contact that I recall was the one that I got on the SD card.
Yeah.
With Chelsea and Vaughn.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Mustang platform, I guess, for
no breakdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, just seeing all those standings out there, I wonder about some of the ones that are perhaps in a garage somewhere, and I'm just like, just take it out there. Get it started.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Right.
I mean,
there are people out there that have Mustangs that it's just literally sitting there that have angle kits and suspension and stuff done to the vehicle. And e-brakes and stuff.
And a cool two-tone.
And cool two-tone, like, liveries.
Yeah.
And the car sits there, and it's not utilized. There is no reason.
And they have a lot of drift experience.
Yeah, a lot of drift experience, and they make fools miss. So those people that have Mustangs that sit there and collect dust with e-brakes and angle kits that have two-tone paint jobs should be at events like the NMRA event.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yep.
It'll handle it. We know it.
Do it.
Right?
Just do it.
And you don't need that much horsepower because Morgan and Amber, neither one of them had barely 200 horsepower. I think Morgan Drifts had less than 200 horsepower. And she was connecting the track. And she messaged that she has sub 200, so less than 200 horsepower. And she was connecting the track consistently, smooth, and getting smoke.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse, said person with Mustang sitting doing nothing.
Not said person, people.
Yeah, there's multiple people.
Persons. Did I say person? I meant persons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plural, persons.
And nowadays, it's persons.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
I have no idea. But, we do have an idea of.
Yeah.
Tim's and Paul's.
Yeah.
Top 5 Facebook Marketplace picks of the week.
Yeah, let me close the door.
Yeah, close the door because something might come in there. Something weird sound effect coming around out there. Yeah, probably is a snake. I got a snake in my boots. So I normally am going through Facebook, looking at different things. Paul, kind of getting a fever for it too, right? It's kind of fun, kind of interesting.
Well, I wanted to donate a little.
He wanted to donate this time, so he wanted to jump in on the festivities and he actually donated 3 picks this week. We're going to go through 5 Facebook Marketplace picks. Some are going to be a little weird. Some are going to be actually good deals.
There's two ones, and then one's a little weird.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So you're tasked with the challenge of defining, is this a deal or is it no deal? Or are you just like, WTF, man? Why are you even showing me
It's a
this?
WTF, man.
It's WTF, man? All of them?
One of them is.
One of them is definitely WTF. So, Ben, are you ready?
I am almost ready.
Almost ready.
I just want to make sure that things are set up over here. Okay, so... Okay, we have people that can see the browser.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get this show on the road. All right, so what are we starting off with first? Well,
this
sign-in that we got to... Gosh darn it. Okay, here we go.
Oh, nice. This is one of Paul's selections.
Yes.
What do we got here, Paul?
You want to read it? So
No, this is your selection. You read it.
Okay. It's a 1989 Chevrolet Caprice Classic
That's a Caprice?
LS edition. So I read the title and I'm like, well, what?
Wait.
What is going on here? So I guess it's a kit car on top of a Caprice chassis, which I thought was pretty interesting. So
Interesting.
go ahead and cycle through the pictures here.
Okay.
Look at that!
Wow.
So it's like a Ute.
Yeah, I kind of see. I was going to go El Camino.
It's like a
but
Corvette too in the back.
It is. It's
It's
got
like-
a little vet
It's
going
got
on there.
everything going on right now.
Wow. I got a wide body matches the front. No.
It's like a dually.
It's kind of like a dually. Actually, you're right. Is it a dually?
It's like a truck.
Actually, it does almost look like a dually the
It's
way
like
the wheels.
it is like a car truck.
Any more pictures?
Yeah. Look at the interior.
Wow. Look at that
Hey.
plush
Microfiber
interior. That
the
plush
microfiber.
interior is mint.
Very plushy.
$10,000? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It sounds like a deal.
You're really kind of close to the steering wheel, though. Almost looks like it drives like a bus.
Yeah, probably. Well, it's a kid car, so
Oh,
Go
interesting.
to the
Any
next
more
one.
pics?
yeah.
Ben,
Yeah,
what do you-
I mean,
what do you-
it's- It's looking more trucky.
does it have
as go.
headlights?
Yeah, I think it's got headlights. Looks kind of like a Miata.
Yeah,
It's like a Miata truck.
yeah, kind of. I don't know what they. You think they made that themselves? Or there's not many pictures?
It has some. Okay, so it's a clean kit car built on an '89 Caprice Brougham classic full frame rear drive V8 350, all fiberglass front and rear. Is a hoot to drive and comfortable with a luxury interior, turns heads everywhere, a real conversation starter. Last sold at auction for $18,000. Ready to see a new owner, and it is truly rare. It's a rare piece.
Last sold at auction for $18,000. You're getting almost 50% off. Of
This is a
gem.
deal.
Deal.
It's a
Ben?
deal.
I find it interesting. I'm still in shock by the presentation of it all. But
It's so
you know
useful.
what?
It is very
Yeah,
useful.
it is. It's versatile,
It's light.
and I think you know what? Yeah, I'll go with it. Deal.
Okay, deal. All right.
It's
Good
a
find,
deal.
Paul.
You
Good
can tow
find.
your car, and you can also look like you have a sports car.
Yeah. Yep.
Really, it's just a Caprice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Brougham. It's not Broham. It's Brougham.
Oh, Brougham? Okay,
Cadillac
sorry.
Brougham. Just so you know.
Oh, okay, so sorry.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pop up the next one. And whose selection is this?
I'm gonna assume it's Paul's because.
So this is my what the WTF?
Wait. Okay. I'll let you read this.
No, you go ahead.
I'll rev TF out of my car outside your ex's at 3 a.m. for $50.
But he has different plans. You got to read the
Okay.
plans.
Oh,
He's got different plans.
All right,
yeah.
yeah, okay. No resonator, no muffler, loud ASF, distance short. What is it? Distance short price cut? I guess he means
Yeah,
short distance. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. Burnout $100. Takeover $150. Me and a buddy for $200. And he's right around the corner.
Yeah. I thought this was great. We should definitely use this service.
And he parks in handicap spots. Yeah.
He's just a belligerent man.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I saw this and I thought this was
there's
amazing.
actual pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But
Yeah, it's just two.
yeah, but
Just
like
kinda
he
give
should
you-
be, so right here, I'm going to say no deal. Missed
deal.
opportunity on the
I don't know, it's a
pictures.
pretty
I
good-
would like to see a video
Some
of a
action
live
shots.
demonstration.
Yeah, some action shots.
Because right now, I think he's just all BS.
Oh, damn.
I need to see the proof. Like,
Okay.
are you really going to do it?
So you're asking for a sample before you partake.
And
Yes!
I want to know
Yeah.
what the buddy's car looks like as well. 'cause,
Exactly,
if you're
right?
gonna offer the
You-
2-for-1 price, I want to
Okay.
see what else I'm getting.
Right. What are we actually getting? Can we see a live demonstration?
I want to get some feedback from the people that have received this treatment as well.
Okay. All
Some
right.
testimonials.
Testimonials.
Yes. Some Google reviews.
Reviews. I can see that.
Or maybe we can get them on Yelp. Some Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
Interesting concept. I applaud his how do you say, creativity? Entrepreneurship, yes.
Hustle.
Hustle. Gotta respect the hustle.
Okay.
But still, no deal because there's no real proof that he's going to do what he says he does.
You know what? I'm gonna go with deal only
Because
because
it's a Toyota.
no, not necessarily.
No, okay.
I say deal because he has a tandem buddy.
Yeah.
So for 200, I say why not?
Have you ever... So if he offers a takeover, we could say he's probably good at pedestrian baseball.
Oh my.
That's basically what takeover is, pedestrian baseball.
Oh, okay. They got a little dark there.
Yeah. Well,
right. Let's move on. Okay. But Paul,
Yep.
that's
be.
the deal, right?
So yeah, I thought it was a total deal. I just want to know more about the price cut for the short distance because I wanted to send him over to Tim's house.
Oh.
Okay, let's move on to the next selection. And what do we have here? Who selected this?
Paul.
Me. So
Okay.
Jamaican.
So
What?
I don't know.
I got
This
this.
is
All
okay.
right. All right. What we got here is a 1968 Jamaican vehicle. Reduced price, $355 Chevy race engine, 4-speed, 355 Pawsey man, 4-wheel disc brake, front and rear, independent suspension. Book, booyaka, booyaka.
It's like-
Brute force.
It's a
U joints.
a
Unique.
Scottish Jamaican.
Oh, rare, yes. Well, they kind of inhabited. It was a whole migrational thing.
Okay.
Anyways, very fast, solid lift, cam, Unilight, Mallory ignition, and I can't read it.
600 Edelbrock cowl hood. Prefer cash, but we'll consider a trade for a 1965 El Camino.
Maybe we can get him the trade for the Caprice.
Well, just take a look at it. So I'm assuming.
Oh, he's got a video.
He's got a video.
You got some sound there?
It sounds nice.
It runs. Well, better for 17,000.
And it looks pretty cool. It's like a nice little sports car. Go to next. Got
that
the
doesn't
blower
look too
out of the
bad.
hood.
Doesn't look too bad. Almost looks like a speed racer.
Yeah, it's a very speed racer.
Speed racer-ish.
Yeah, it looks small, and it's got that.
Wait, what is this
concept.
again?
It's a Jamaican.
Oh. Okay. It's a Jamaican.
A 1968.
68 Jamaican.
Making.
Okay,
And that's
so
it.
that's it. It's only got 30,000 miles. Its exterior is yellow and
Never had a
it's
Jamaican before.
Yeah, I know. It's Jamaican making me crazy.
Jamaican me crazy. It's so good you got to say it twice.
It's Jamaican.
Okay. I'd say it's a pass for me.
Yeah, it's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, it was a pass for me, but it was interesting.
I thought it was. Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Okay. Let's move on and go over to our fourth selection.
Now I had to remove 3 of my selections to make room for Paul. So you only got 2 of Tim's selections. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Okay.
So what do we have here?
Missed opportunity. This is something that we need to purchase. Showing up with the Drift Taxi guys in bumper cars. Think about how much
bumping them out of the
fun
way.
making those bumper cars self-propelled and just going around and having the time of your life. Everybody loves bumper cars, and now you have the opportunity to purchase 3 bumper cars, put the engine of your choice in there, and go to a Drift Taxi event and just cause mayhem.
Sounds like Whiplash.
No, the Drift Taxi cars are so light.
Oh,
you're
we're-
going to destroy.
we're hitting.
That's what I'm talking about. We're going to go on a rampage. But think about it. How much fun would it be able to just drive a bumper car around with a bunch of other guys with bumper cars?
Look like Mitsubishi Eclipses.
They do. Toyota Superish. Actually, they look like Bugatti Veyrons. The black one looks like a Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but what do you guys think? These are used bumper cars. There's a total of 5. $400 a piece. If we buy all 5, I bet you it'll take $250. Vero Beach, Florida, not too far away. I don't know. Think about that though.
I have some skepticism.
Well, it'll include a Hans device.
Only because of this
hidden
information. What is he hiding? What is he not telling us? Are these carts rebuilt?
Listen, when you buy a box of Cracker Jacks, you're buying it because of the hidden information. You want to know what the prize is. I bet you there's a prize in those. The prize is the time of your life.
Wow, you're really selling it.
I'm telling you.
What else do we got
just
as far
think
as
about
pictures
it.
there?
Don't you ever have memories of a kid in a bumper car just having having a lot of fun?
No, I'm talking about what else is in that photo. I see a bull.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Yeah, there's a bull. Yeah,
and then there's like a tiger on its like side.
Yeah.
There's like an AC unit.
This guy knows how to have fun. Okay,
sounds like it.
He has 5 bumper cars. Have you ever met anybody that owned a bumper car?
No.
Paul, have you ever met anybody that owned a bumper car?
No.
Think about this.
Okay.
Me, you, Paul. We'll throw Gimpy Gabby in there.
No, Limpy Stillskits.
Gimpy Gabby. I think Gimpy Gabby is better. Gimpy Gabby and one other lucky contestants will raffle off a 5th bumper car, and we will just think
bump
about
each
it.
other.
Yes. How fun would that be? You got to admit it, like it'd be fun.
It would
I
be
know
fun.
part of you is like, you know what? Tim's kind of crazy, but that might be kind of fun. And we'll put put whatever the options are endless. We can put whatever we want in there.
Yeah.
They don't move now?
We'll make them move.
That's what I'm asking. Do we know if they don't move?
I don't
We
know.
don't know that.
Well,
Maybe.
okay, but bumper cars are powered by electricity because they have the little thing, the sticky thing above them, and that's how they're powered.
Yeah,
now.
but
so they have electric motors in them. We just need to put batteries in them.
But the problem is you hate EVs, Tim.
Yeah,
So what are you going to do
Right.
here?
So we pull the EV out and we put lawnmower motors in them.
Okay. All
And we'll
right.
go to Harbor Freight and get a bunch of Predators and throw Predator motors in them. I'm telling you, this is an opportunity where a nice big garage would have been useful and some extra cash. I would have bought all 5.
You know what? I am going to say deal only for the potential opportunity this is going to bring for the mayhem.
Has anybody thought about this?
I'm sure. I mean, they probably did. That's why they have it. And they were like, okay, maybe I've made a huge mistake. And then now they're selling it.
Somebody else, yes. Well, think about it. The Drift Taxi guys, they took a crazy cart.
Yes.
And they swapped. So what we're
taking a bumper
going to do,
cart.
we're taking a bumper car.
Okay.
And we're going to soup
Take
them
it to
up.
the next level.
Yes.
Okay.
Level up, buddy. Level up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Paul?
obviously, Tim, you're sold. Paul?
I need more information.
Nah,
It's
you don't
the
need
hidden
anything.
information is,
No, you just buy.
is killing me.
You just buy.
So-
Just like around Amazon late at night, I want this. Buy. I'll get it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on over to our final selection, and we're going to find out who's going to send us home. Is it going to be Paul or Tim? Let's go. Final selection, Facebook Marketplace. And what do we have?
The
All right,
ultimate fun haver. The ultimate fun haver. A 1960 Lloyd LS600 trade for rollback twin turbo Cummins. So, hey, you don't necessarily have to purchase
What the hell
this.
is that thing?
This thing is absolutely amazing. It
it a
has a
truck?
mohawk.
It does have a mohawk.
It has a mohawk. You're going to tell me that thing ain't amazing.
No. What kind of trips me out is it had 2 owners.
So have
How the hell
most
does it have
wives.
2
Most
owners?
wives have had 2
that
owners.
thing has
Somebody-
never had 2 owners.
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell that
Let's go
thing
through
is.
some pictures.
Okay.
That
Okay.
thing, I mean, you're going to say that you
And
don't
it's
think
paid
it-
off.
It's paid off. Look at
Okay,
that.
The turbo's pretty insane.
I love that. Is just so it just that
Screams
is screaming
ignorance.
fun. I mean, you can't see past it while you're driving, but you can see underneath the little. I'm not sure the thinking behind
what
the plumbing on that.
Yeah,
Like you could have turned the turbo.
Yeah,
But anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's go. More pictures.
Okay.
Look how clean it is. Look how clean that is.
It
What
doesn't
was
clean.
that thing originally?
I wonder if it's got back seats.
I'd say photographs well.
It does
Yeah, it does
photograph
look
very.
nice.
They did a good job with the photographs. Absolutely. I mean,
Man,
come
Hot
on.
Wheels.
It is a Hot Wheel.
I
That's
like.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cummins, me come.
Well, you know, oh yeah, go down. That's an auction.
Yeah, it's an eco. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an auction.
Yeah,
It's a
make 'em
Cummins.
auction.
Look, it's a Cummins twin turbo. It runs and drives perfect. Everything works perfect. Has a lot of money. You got to see
Well,
more.
we got to finish the photos.
Oh, okay.
First.
Finish photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more.
I'm telling
Ooh,
you,
wow.
it looks almost like an RC car right there.
It does.
And he's got look
Wait,
how
wait,
much.
wait, hold on, well.
What?
What is that on the?
Free February. Maybe he's trying to spell
They can't
February.
spell?
Maybe he's trying to spell February. It is. Well, actually, it's March now.
What is that? It's like a
That's
NASCAR
Freebury.
flying.
Yeah, it's
Fly by. I think that's what it's supposed
Freebrew.
to say. No, he's supposed to say fly by.
I thought it was.
I don't think he
it's
knows how to
supposed
spell fly by. I think that's fly by.
No, it's February.
No,
February.
because the car is flying by. So
You think so?
I
don't think so.
That's interesting.
If anybody is still watching, feel free to submit your opinion
Thoughts?
on is it February or flyby?
In the back there with the NASCAR.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Anyways,
over
it
here.
Any more
looks like it
pictures?
fit one person inside.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes very good photographs. I'll tell you that. Right. Look at that.
Whoa,
Oh, wow.
hey.
Look, you got a
It's got
sound
sound.
system, plenty of room inside,
Well,
diamond
that's
plate.
Interesting.
It's gonna rattle your stomach out.
It's gonna suck when the sun is. Oh,
Oh, it's got green.
Paul, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
Paul
I
had
had
green
green
headlights
headlights
back
just
in the
like that.
day.
Oh,
It's got to
I didn't
bring
know
back
that.
some memories.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's a massive steering wheel.
Wow.
Looks like it's pretty much in the center of the car.
Does so you could take turns driving and you don't have to switch seats. Think about
Are those high heels in the glove box? What the?
those. Do look like high heels. in the glove box. What is that in the glove box? Well, maybe those are. Yeah. So if the person just stabs right in the eyes if they go forward.
That's interesting. Oh wow!
Whoa! Look at that sound system.
It's got a
I'm
fuel cell
telling
right
you,
in the center
man,
of the-
this is like the
glows in the
ultimate
dark.
fun haver right here. You can run over things. You can listen to your favorite music. You
what
got
is
turbo
the-
sounds. It's diesel. You could pull
the
something
amps-
with it.
Does the amp say trumps or what? Trams? What is it? Say?
I don't know. I can't see from here.
Tarumpy.
Tarumpy.
Tarumpis.
No,
Taramps?
Tarampi.
Taramps?
Oh, Tramps.
Tarampi.
Tramps.
No, it's the brand of amplifier.
Oh, okay.
Tramps?
You sure?
Okay, all right.
I think so.
I'll go with that.
We're going with
Okay,
that.
Go with tramps.
Okay. All right.
Do you know the? We go back.
Look
go
at
back.
dude,
Go back.
look
Go
at
back.
that,
Go back.
dude.
Go
Look
back
at
where?
the
Go back
precision.
one. The oh no forward.
Okay.
The head
headrest?
cushions look like
Look like
bed
toilet
pans.
seats.
Look like bed pans.
Well, think about it. I mean, you
They
get to,
reuse and
repurpose.
and plush out some bed pans.
It almost looks like the seats that you lay down on to get a massage.
Oh,
yeah,
you
you
reverse
face.
though.
Reverse, yeah.
So think about
That's
it.
probably
You're
what they
out
did.
there, you're running over, you're mudding, you run over things, you're having a good time, and then you're like, I need a massage. You
You
lay the
fold
seats
the-
down, you turn over, and then you have a massage.
Yep.
You put your face in there, you relax.
And you get
You
vibrated
can
from the
live
music.
out of this thing.
All the speakers vibrate you. So
The
you get
speakers
yeah.
vibrate you. You could take this to events and do massages and play music. I mean, you can. This
It
is
does
this
it
is a
all.
business opportunity.
Okay. All right. Let's carry on. What is this?
That's the engine.
Okay.
Whole lot of
Look at
piping
that
going
oil
on.
filter.
It's a Cummins diesel.
It's a Napa oil filter. Look at that size of that thing.
Yeah, well, it's a diesel, buddy.
Well, it's
I'm Cummins.
not to filter.
Okay.
I mean, it's clean. This is dude. It's pretty legit. I think it's pretty legit. It looks like I don't know where you got the Cummins sign from. Suicide doors.
It just keeps getting better.
It's
Suicide
It's a
doors.
gift that keeps on giving.
It
Yeah,
is just like
exactly.
herpes. Yes,
God.
or Chris Jackson.
World famous.
World famous.
You can get both in
The
one.
Mohawk
Two
is
for one.
the Mohawk is this is Stance Nation. It's crazy. It's wild. You show up anywhere. Look at this dude. I'm done. I'm done. Sold.
I just want to point out that this is perhaps the only ad that I've seen so far that has provided the most amount of photos for one item.
Yeah.
All the other ones have either been very
Limited.
very short, very small in regards to the media. But they're very detailed with this one.
This is the highest dollar value of all of them.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay, I can see
he's
that.
requesting $28,000.
But it's a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind. Let's read the description. Okay, so the motor is a Cummins twin turbo, runs and drives perfect. Everything works. Okay. I guess he's selling it for somebody else, or he refers himself in the third person. He has a lot of money and time invested. Seeing is believing. Sale or trade. They really, they were letting the pictures.
So he's got
do
a lot
the
of
talking.
money, but he can't spell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know who he is. Oh, like I
Whoever
said,
he is.
Maybe he's talking about himself. Maybe he's not. You decide.
My problem on determining on whether or not this is a deal or not is, what am I going to use it for? And I think that's what you got to ask yourself. What are you going to use it for? And if so, like, if you have a purpose for it, then okay, I can see a deal. But if you don't have a purpose for it, it's hard. It's going to be very difficult for me to say.
Yeah, give this a purpose.
Wait, hold on a second. First of
give
all,
this a purpose.
There are so many purposes. One, massage chairs. Two, mobile concert venue. 3, you can run over anything. 4, it's a diesel, so you can tow anything.
Okay.
And 5, everything works, and it's got a mohawk. This is like everything you could possibly want to do in a vehicle, multiple vehicles in one vehicle.
Okay, so you're kind of saying it's a Swiss Army knife of vehicles.
It's a Swiss Army knife of vehicles.
It does look like a Swiss Army knife of vehicles.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Deal.
Okay. Like I said, I have a hard time suggesting this as a deal, so I'm gonna pass.
That's fine. It's kind of like, you try. I get it. You're a little weary, right, of the usefulness of it, but you'll come around.
Okay, Paul, your thoughts?
Too Ghostbustery to me. Like,
and you can bust ghosts.
Yeah.
Number 6. That's 6 reasons.
The interior reminded me of was it again Slimer?
yeah,
Yes.
it's got Slimer all over it.
Right.
This could be like the Slimer car.
Oh no, this is so clean. Look how clean that is.
It is clean. It's green and the weird mohawk, and
This is one of those things. Like, if I had money and I didn't know,
I wish you told us what it
I would
was
purchase.
originally. Like, what did that frame come from? Did it come from a Jeep or?
Does it matter?
I mean,
It's
to me,
amazing.
It does.
Okay.
Anyways,
Paul, deal?
No deal. No deal.
Okay, so Tim is the only one that's
That's
going to
okay.
walk away with this.
Well, if I had $28,500, I would purchase that, but I don't, so I'm not. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Those are Paul and Tim's top 5 Facebook posts of the weeks, because it's been a few weeks.
Anything else you want to mention before we go?
Those of you guys that know we're going to be at the next King of OSW, we're going to be reaching out to hopefully some people to partner up with us to help us fund the live stream. So we appreciate anybody. If you know somebody that might be interested in sending us a commercial that we can air on the live stream, that would be amazing. 2, don't use any type of metal tapes as a fire barrier, because you are actually adding fuel to the fire
and noxious fumes.
and noxious fumes. That's all I have. And obviously, let's keep an eye on Beast Coast, and I wish them great things in the future. And we look forward to seeing how that.
When is their first event happening?
March something, right? Good question. I had it written down, but I don't have it in front of me.
I had it written down too, but
Check out Beast Coast on Instagram. They are very responsive. Every time I've sent them a question about layout or anything, they've been fairly quick in their replies.
Oh, so you've been talking to them quite a bit?
I had questions about the layout initially, and they replied pretty quick, and then they tagged me in a video saying this is more like what the layout's going to be. I was able to actually get an idea and a feel for how the first event was going to go.
March 9th.
March 9th.
Oh,
March
so this
9th.
weekend coming
Yeah,
up.
it's right around the corner.
Right. And if you're a last minute entry, remember, just send them a message at least a day before so they can be prepared for you and expect you. And they will be making sure you're running 235s.
Paul, any final comments?
I have no
Okay,
final
you're
comments.
done. Okay, good. Yeah, you're ready to roll out. I could tell. All right, folks. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Want to thank Beast Coast guys for also being our guests. Really appreciate that. And like Tim mentioned, we will not be here 2 weeks from now. We're actually going to be in Orlando Speed World for the Spring Break Bash King of OSW competition. Be sure to check that out. Also, be sure to go to follow OSW Drift on Instagram if you're looking to attend. I know it's going to be very difficult. It's very popular, and the entry sells out very quick. So
It hasn't gone for
be
sale
sure.
yet?
I don't know. They probably have. I'm not entirely sure. And if it does, it's probably already sold out. So take advantage of that. It's really a fun weekend. In any case, thank you again, and take care. Good night.